Welcome to your writerly wrap-up for 2025 Soul Bards. Let's jam.
It's the season to be jolly. La 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. La 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. La 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 la.
Welcome on back to Sitting Down with Soul Writer and Vlogmas 2025. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Alongside the raw healing stories my characters in the Myrna Annals do weave throughout time and space, I help other soul bards such as yourselves get back to doing what you like to do with your creative processes in your pace, in your time, in your stride. Let's do this, word wizards. I have 7 questions, and I'm going to basically tag anybody who has an AuthorTube channel that's currently listening to this to go ahead and, if you haven't done a similar thing, if you want, use my questions and let's jam. Indeed, y'all. So question number 1. Which project are you the most grateful, relieved, and or overjoyed to have completed? Season 1 of the Myrna Annals is now available in ebook and paperback. Also, I'm going to admit, growing my YouTube channel and my coaching and my editing kind of alongside my writing and proving I can do both actually kind of rocked this year. This was the first year where I feel like I really figured out what percentages of myself kind of go in which buckets of my business, if that makes sense. I also figured out exactly the type of things I want to coach, the type of people I want to coach. I figured out how to do a book tour that went from originally being like only 5 or 6 things to twice that long in the long run. So I am extremely excited to see what next year brings because I already have some places on my docket of where I want to go. There's something really cool that's going on with my Fae crew that I'm not going to quite talk about publicly yet. And Soul Bards, it's more than what I told you it was on Sunday Scaries. Other things that are really cool happened. Anywho, hi, my Fae crew. So, question number 2. What projects are you carrying over until 2026? I published a lot of things this year. Therefore, I am not super upset, nor did I actually get down on myself for more than a week, maybe 2, about having to move the debut of Vitae Elangica and or season 2 to 2026. And I think what I'm going to do, this is what my soul is kind of wanting to do, is put out all 3 of Vitae Elangica next year, along with maybe one of the side quests, while I am mostly drafting all of season 2, like the first 3 books. I have most of book 6 done. I have a good chunk to the start of book 7 done and highly outlined. So I'm on the way there, and I said, you know what? Let's just delay the start of season 2 a little bit. Let people see what's going on circa season 2 by seeing it through the lens of Vitae Elangica. Because in my reading order of things, you could read all of Vitae Elangica and not know what's going on anything around it. But at the same time, if you read Vitae Elangica and then go back and read season 1, or read season 1 and then read Vitae Elangica, either way is up to you. But you get what I mean here? I'm trying to give multiple entry points into my metaverse, the Myrnaverse, as some people are now calling it, to go ahead and take care of making sure more than one person can easily feel comfortable at home in the books. And So we'll see what goes into 2026. I have a video on my goals, probably going to be the last one we do at the end of Vlogmas, and we're probably going to visit some planning things along the way. I'm doing a live stream later this month. I think I have, if you go over on my posts tab, you'll see where I have a lot of cool things going on. Just heads up, go check there for final dates of planning stuff together and learning how to do this video marketing thing a little bit better together. So, number 3, is there a new release you're therefore excited for next year already? Oh my God. Okay, I'm really excited to get all of Vitae Langica out there to y'all, but more importantly, the side quest I'm looking on doing, I am also excited to get out there to you. I am either going to do one of 3. Slices and Sheets is mostly drafted. It's a collection of short stories about each of the couples from books 1 through 5, kind of mirroring the intention, layout, and mindset of the Winged Ones a little bit in that regard. I could also do Grace and Ptolemy, which they are key characters in season 1 and season 2. And those of you who have read season 1 know them as two other people. So that one could make sense as a connector lead into season 2. But there's one I really have inside my soul that's been screaming to get out. It's a novella called And So He Called Her Malice, or And He Called Her Malice, something like that. It's Malice's origin story and how she met her husband, became the second in hand to him on the high seas, meeting Neftiri, getting involved with the hunters, so on and so forth, whatnot. It's a fun story. It's literally just vampire pirate shenanigans was literally my tagline for it. And I thought that would be just fun to write. So we'll see. I have a lot of projects that are started and in the works because of NaNoWriMo's of old when I first started my author journey. And I was just like, okay, let me make a bunch of shiny projects and figure out what I want to do with this thing first. What are 3 books by fellow indie authors you want to read before the end of the year next year? I would love to read all of Mama Maggie Ward's books. I've read a good chunk of them. I think I want to start over at the beginning is kind of where I'm at, just because she has books that are 10. That's really creepy when you do that. Did you all see that? That was just low-key. That was creepy. Anyway, Mama Maggie, I'm apparently supposed to reread your cat book too. Anywho, I also met a very lovely person by the name of Kate Disney Lugers over at the Right Women Book Fest, and she writes nerdy romance stuff. One of her books is called Love Across the Tabletop. You can understand why I'm intrigued. So I very much am looking forward to reading more of her books, and I have a book coming out that a certain someone has been talking about with space and Bridgerton. Hi, Inca. You have everybody wanting to read that book. So I'm excited to see that one finally get published. I know that my friend Miranda has a couple of books that she's finally going to have proofs of in her hands. I want to read all the Lear, just saying. And I only asked for 3. See, I did it to myself for once, guys. Next question. Which goal from this year, 2025, made me grow the most? I'm going to have to talk about a thing I'm uncomfortable talking about. I actually had to learn to let some things go this year. I probably will not offer a 6-month coaching course ever again, or at least not for the next couple of years. 6 weeks seems to be the one everyone likes. So I really had to learn to let my business grow at its own pace this year as a coach and as an editor. And I learned a lot of new stuff, like how to edit better. And I learned how to be a better coach this year. Don't get me wrong, I've done a lot of both as a trad editor, as a freelance editor, long before 2020 made me consider a transition out of teaching. I've also done a lot of coaching as part of being a teacher, because teachers are half-time life coaches and guidance counselors these days. So, therefore, all of the classes and all of the training that I took to do my continuing education as part of those things, they've reviewed baseline foundational things I needed reviewed and recentered on. But some of the people who are coaching those and teaching those concepts out there right now also blew my brain apart in ways that I am so grateful for, because it just, in my opinion, made me a better writer and business owner for my own business. And it also made me a better writer for my readers. It made me also be a better person to my fellow writer, I would like to hope. So yeah, definitely grew a lot in growing those goals. I'm actually looking forward to the fact that I now have a lot more local people joining in. Don't get me wrong, I love my soul bards. Internationally speaking here, I love you all. The fact that some of you live as close as you do now blows my brain apart, because I would actually like to go and have coffee and stuff with you. Hence the writer crawl I have stuff for. I'm going to try and do these writer crawl weekends routinely. Like, if not 3 times a quarter, twice a quarter minimum. I just think they'll be fun. So, we shall see. Therefore, what advice do I have for past me? So, past me, how's that perfectionist poison treating you, sweetheart? When are you going to stop putting it in your coffee? My word for 2025 was progress. And my phrase for 2025, some of you realized in my streaming space, it was hanging like right up here. I now have it over here. But, progress to the better. Not even to perfection. Progress to the better. Progress, not perfection. Something that I recently started saying in coaching appointments is perfection is above humanity's pay grade. Not even some divine beings from certain cultures even want to be perfect. Go read the stories on that. I'm looking at you, Greece and Rome. And definitely so. Therefore, why am I even worrying about it? Saying that to myself, as much as I'm saying that to others, highly applies. And some of you who have been here from, 50 subscribers or less, remember that I used to say, I'm going to say it to you all because I need to hear it too. Take care of yourself. You're always worth it. It still applies. And the fact that one of you walked up to me at Baltimore Ferry Fair, talked to me for a bit, and then that is how you parted from me, I cried. I'm trying not to cry again. Focus, Jenna, you're almost done. That made the whole weekend worth it. To know that there are people out there who I'm learning alongside of just how to do this human meat sack thing better, while also being a creative soul on the inside. Therefore, future me, what advice do I have? You figured out that you're not a perfectionist. When are you going to figure out and fully accept that just because you're a lighthouse on a beach of other lighthouses up and down the length of the coastline, when are you going to come out of the tower? Without it having to crash under you applies. I'm learning a balance like I never have before about what it means to be active physically in my community and virtually in my community. I'm finally building a community that I physically feel safe to be my nerdy, dorky, quirky, weirdest, innermost self, my fated self, because weird means fated, you know. Being welcome to be that. Thank you to everybody who agrees we need more of that in this world. Now more than ever, take care of yourself and your voice. You're writing what you're writing for a reason. So take care of you so you can keep doing it, dang it. See you in the next one.